Hello, everybody, and welcome to What You Need to Know. I am Sybil Wilkes, and happy Friday Eve, or for some of us, it is Friday. And glad to have you all here on this last night of the Republican National Convention. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, great. Okay. Joining us today, every Thursday, is Mr. George Wallace, and we really appreciate that. Hello, sir.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Thursday night. It's the last night. It's COVID 45 night. COVID 45. This stupid idiot. I'm so mad. I don't even know what to talk about. I'm going to let you talk because I could go to loopholes. I could just go on and on and on tonight. It's not good for me tonight, y'all. It's not good. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it no more.
George, you sound a little distant. I'm not sure what's going on with your audio, but you sound a little distant. And
Well, I
so,
apologize. How about now? Is that better?
no.
John, shut up. Listen, I'm having problems with my computer. I'm on the telephone. I'm going to try to get on the computer. Okay, I'll keep trying, but I'm mad as hell. I'm
Okay.
mad as a mofo. Did you hear
Okay.
that?
Well, that was better. That
Well,
was better.
Sybil, you know what happens is when you get on those bad porn sites, you get viruses on your computer.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
gotcha.
This
George
Gotcha.
boy
always
really,
tells on himself. He
this
always tells on himself.
this boy really knows about porn sites. I don't do porn. I did porn when I was your age, John. Not only did I do porn, I was in porn when I was your age.
Oh,
I can never unsee that, even in my
all
mind.
right, all
Hey,
right.
Hey,
John
hey,
Sybil,
Murray.
Sybil,
I was doing
Sybil,
you.
that's just flat out nasty. Even if I look at it, even if I look at it, it's nasty.
John Murray, welcome. How you doing?
Listen, I'm good. It's good to be on with my godfather who doesn't take care of me, which is why I tease him about his porn. But anytime I can be on with you, Sybil, it's certainly a privilege.
Well, you know what? It was great having you guys here last week for my birthday, and I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad you all are back today. And once again, I thank you for all the fun that we had last week, George Wallace.
Well, let's go back to that birthday. That was such an enjoyable day, and people are still talking about it. It was so awesome, and you deserve it. I don't know how to use this telephone. I don't know how to use it. But
All we see is this, Sybil.
it's 3D. It's 3D.
Sybil Wilkes' virtual reality
What is
show.
going on
Whoa!
with me? Is that better? Is that better?
We'll take it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great, George. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
and you hear me okay?
No, but that's okay too.
I'm gonna fix this thing. Maybe because I put my name as Junebug. Junebug. That's not right.
Okay, but that's funny.
Yeah, Junebug. Yeah. So
You know,
what am I
is
supposed?
that your porn name or your club
Uh-oh.
name?
Now Sybil is jumping on board. My porn name is Big Daddy.
Oh, Lord. That's not what she said, George.
And
Well-
I've never heard her say that either.
Big
So-
Daddy.
So George, everybody is talking about last Thursday and what a great job you did hosting all of that, and I know that's what you do.
What a great job we did, all of us.
You're such a consummate professional, and at some point I want to get back to talking about your past in radio too, because I don't think a lot of people really knew how much time you had done as a host of a morning show. And so just to talk about that a little bit, but I do want to talk about what is going on. We're now 67 days away from November 3rd. Obviously, that is the most important day for us, as that will be the election that will change our lives, and we have to vote as if our lives depend upon it, and it does.
67 days from now will be my birthday. It'll be my anniversary. It's going to be my Christmas. It's going to be my Easter egg. It's
Yeah.
going to be Labor Day. It's going to be every holiday there is. November 3rd, I'm going to dance like I've never danced before. I'm going to love everybody. I might walk down the street naked. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, Lord.
We have got to win. We have got to vote. You talk about the greatest birthday gift, Easter egg, or Christmas gift you could give yourself is to go
Yeah.
out and vote. Your vote matters, because let me tell you something about your vote. You're not just voting for me or for you. You're voting for kids to go to school. You're voting to feed older people. You're voting for them to get their medicine. You're voting for better environment outside your air. You're voting for parks. You're just voting for a better life. It's so important to vote. John Lewis said, get into some good trouble and vote. That's most important thing you can do is vote. And you can win. You can win. You see what the looting? You think looting is something? Hit that slot machine. Hit that voters. Hit it. Make it burn. Pull that handle like it's a slot machine. You talk about some looting. We can fire up that place, and we're going to fire up America because we're going to the polls. And so far, everybody I know is registered. That's what's bothering me. I can't find anybody that ain't registered.
Well, George, we have to keep looking and we have to keep pressing on that because we need people to not only to register to vote, but also find out the dates for the deadlines of voter registration.
As Steve said, that's true. You can do that. What is that? Vote.org?
Vote.org, yes.
Yes.
And that is really important that we get those dates down, and we have that in the newsletter as well.
And so there was good momentum today, and a very strong and unprecedented move. We saw that people who had worked with Mitt Romney on his 2012 election, George W. Bush staffers, and staffers of John McCain all came out and collectively endorsed Joe Biden. You know, the Republican Party is screaming from the mountaintop, give us our party back. Conservatives are so tired of being lumped in to this racist, bigot, demagogue, wannabe dictator that we have in office. And I'm going to tell you this, Sybil, while these are 4 years that none of us would have asked for, would have predicted, or even voted for, because clearly we didn't show up to vote. Over 100 million people sat out the last election. I think Donald Trump may have been necessary to galvanize people into coming together. I've never seen Black people so more engaged and unified and standing together than ever before. While there is a lot of divisiveness in this country, true Americans, true patriots, true people who understand decency and democracy are coming together against party lines and saying, we've got to end the hate that has manifested and been prevalent in this country for almost 4 years. And so I do believe that things are going to be positive once we get through this election. I do believe the outcome will be good for us, but we need to make sure that we overwhelm the system so that Donald, his minions, and none of his Russian buddies can do what they like to do and mess with our elections this time around.
We need an overflow, John.
I want to sing the Negro National Anthem right now after that.
We shall overcome.
Sing till earth and heaven ring.
Come on, George.
With the harmony of liberty, facing the rising sun, that our new day begun. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? John, you're so right.
That's the remix.
We've got to get ready for the overflow. John, we've got to get ready for the overflow. Even though you're saying we're going to come out like crazy, and I think we are, but I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Right.
The Republicans are so desperate. Do you see what they did last night? Putting on all these Black people. They want to lie to the Black people, and some Black people are going to buy it. Don't go for that stuff. Don't go for that stuff. They did a good job, too, trying to convince people. The man Clarence Henderson, what's his name? Clarence Henderson. They did a good job.
One of the people who integrated the lunch counter.
Yeah, so did I. Thank you so much. I went to
hilarious.
Yeah, I was at F.W. Woolworth back in the day here in Atlanta. I sat at the counter. Matter of fact, I sat at W.T. Grant, too. Yeah, I went to S.S. Craig, J.J. Newberry. You know, all the stores back in the day had an initial. You know, they didn't have just like one name. Sears and Roebuck. And I hear Roebuck was a Black man. I'm not sure, but I hear Roebuck was a Black man. But listen, this is very important. All those people that were on last night, those Black speakers, and the guy for the NFL, I don't see what.
The guy from the NFL who has a lawsuit from the security exchanges for insider trading that they didn't put that in his bio line.
He's in the right party. He's in the right party, right? He's in the right party. And the man, Mr. Henderson, and the other guy, the young Black guy, said they know racism when they see it. Well, you're in the Republican Party, it's right in your damn face.
Right.
The Trumplican Party, because let's give credit to real conservatives and real. I mean, listen, when George Herbert Bush was in office, he gave us Black Music Month. So real Republicans, you can get some things done with. George W. Bush was a major factor in us getting the African American History and Culture Museum. Those people that we've seen this week trotted out on stage during the RNC convention, that was window dressing. That was straight from central casting. That whole immigration thing, I mean, the fact that they found somebody from every one of the S-hole nations that he can't stand to say, I'm going to give you citizenship. People need to know that the only thing they can do tonight is maybe unleash kids from cages and reunite them with their parents. They're pulling out every stunt they could to say, he's not racist. He's compassionate. He's not, maybe he won't grab nobody by the hoo-ha tonight. I don't know what they have left to show to try to debunk all the things that we know are true about him. But this production, this faux reality show that they've given us this week, I think most people see through it, and the ratings show it. Joe Biden and the Democrats last week outperformed them by 3 million viewers. And 3 million is a very important number for Donald Trump.
That's a very important number.
Because that's how much Hillary Clinton beat him in the popular vote the last time around.
But this time we want to beat him by 15 million.
30 million. 100 million.
No questions asked. We've got to do it. We got to talk about just voting, making sure we vote. That's all we got to do. How y'all doing?
It is top of mind, obviously, and that is what a lot of the conversation is about, and especially as in conjunction with all the madness and the craziness that's going on with the U.S. Postal Service. And so we have to be very mindful of that. And whatever way that we are going to vote, we have to make sure that our votes get in and that they are counted. As you have said, John, this reality show, all of the things that they have said, all the things they throw out, and it's a lot like what Donald Trump does anyway. He says all of these nasty and negative things, and really it's a mirror, because all of the nasty and negative things that are said are really reflections of Donald Trump. And, accusing all of these things or charging the Democrats with all of this, it really is a reflection of this administration and what they're doing.
Right.
Can I ask you one last thing?
Sure.
Has anybody talked about getting Herschel Walker a CTE test?
Wait a second. Herschel Walker has a white wife, okay?
Herschel Walker has no Hershey chocolate in his DNA. All of our kinfolk are not our kinfolk.
Amen.
That is so true.
And Sybil, his son's eyebrows were arched better than yours.
I know.
And who screwed?
He's
he played for the
care of himself.
He played for the USFL. Who screwed that up?
Donald Trump. That's right.
And once again, the black man, Mr. Henderson, he said that the Republican Party passed the 15th Amendment so that the black people could vote. So who's doing the suppression right now?
That's the party.
Same party. Come on.
That's the same party.
But
as John has pointed out, it's a different party now. And
yes,
that's why
party.
Hundreds of Republicans have come out today in support of Joe Biden and his campaign. And as John, ran through all of the campaigns in the administration that these Republicans played a part in, and now they are coming out in support of Joe Biden today.
How about that? Not only that, guess what else happened last night? John, you know about this. How about our great sportsman last night? How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. Making a statement. LeBron James is more than a basketball player, y'all. This guy's really getting to me. He's really doing the right thing. He's saying the right thing. Kenny Anderson walking off a television show last night.
The Jet. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's the coach? Yeah. The coach over at the Clippers.
Doc Rivers.
Oh my gosh.
That
was so powerful.
It was emotional. I was actually watching NBA TV yesterday because I was getting ready to watch the game, and so I saw in real time when the Milwaukee Bucks would not come out on the court, and I was like, "Oh, this is really happening!" Like, they're really going to protest, and it was emotional, like because I think Black people in general, we are exhausted. I think we're really, really tired of all the things that we're going through. We're tired of explaining why Black Lives Matter. And then we're tired of the trauma of seeing Black people being shot and some of us being shot and killed on our social media threads, on our news stations now. The one thing I am grateful about is that news stations, mainstream news stations, they used to be, late like Jet Magazine and covering this stuff. Like a Black person would be murdered and then it would take a week before it made mainstream news. I'm happy that mainstream and cable news is covering this stuff immediately. Before we got live tonight, Ari Melber did a piece on MSNBC that showed the disparity between when white people are arrested and when black people are arrested by the cops, and how it's only a death sentence typically for us. And I'm glad that our allies and other people are lending voice to this situation and saying something has got to give, something has got to change.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I love him. I think last night on his show, Ari Melber had nothing but black folks on his show.
Wait a second, Sybil, now I'm going to say this. I am so wrong for saying this. John, maybe you can understand. I think, I don't know how to say this, but there were so many black people on that I thought, maybe we got too many black people on TV right now. No, this is not funny. I'm going, the more black people you have on, some white people are going to turn away. So I think it should be equal. We see too many black people, and that's what some of the white people are on the edge about right now with the shootings and what's going on in the cities and the Black Lives Matter. So we need to, if they see too much of us, they will turn away.
Well, George, I don't know if that's the case with MSNBC, because they are seeing record-breaking numbers like they've never seen on that network. You know, Nicole Wallace and Joy Reid now in prime time, they're seeing numbers like, you know, they're beating all of the competition, and even in some of the day parts, the juggernaut that is Fox News. And so I think that the people and the consumers that watch MSNBC, they have a heart for all-inclusivity,
right,
nature and diversity and all that stuff. And so I think they're okay with seeing all this blackness on their TV, because a lot of these people have adopted black kids. They're in multiracial families. They got biracial grandkids, unlike that woman, Abby Johnson, who was hers profiled by the police. But I think a lot of these people really have a heart for the community, and they are seeking understanding.
Well, nobody's doing a better job than before.
I'm getting all kinds of. There's something wrong with our audio, so we're gonna go away for a second. Oh.
Is that better?
Is that
you figured it out?
Who, me?
George.
Hell no, I didn't figure it out yet. My computer
is we need you to plug in your earbuds. And John, do you have your earbuds in?
No, but I shouldn't be getting any feedback or anything.
There's something really wrong.
It sounds like somebody is typing. That's the audio that.
Well, it's not me. Somebody's off. Am I off?
The typing stopped. Is there a producer sending messages or something somewhere?
No.
Well, you know where my hands are. I mean, not.
And John, it happens especially when you're talking.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That is true, John. It's when you're talking.
The devil's in my computer. Hold on. I may have gotten caught up in the same situation that's been bothering George.
Well,
let me make sure everything else is completely closed out here. You know what? I'm going to leave out for a second. I'm going to fix the audio, and then I'll start.
Hang on one second.
Because you leave, and then when you come back, I hope it's not me, Sybil, but I'll be here with you for a few moments.
Okay, George, keep talking.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sybil Wilkes. All you need to know.
What you need to know. Hold on one second, George. And now, John.
Am I causing the audio issues when I talk? Is it me? Could it be me?
Now it stopped. So it's okay. So George.
He's on mute.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take George out and get his audio straight. So, John,
Apple was about to give me a refund.
Give some more of those numbers and talking about MSNBC because they are. It seems as though they get it now. They have made a concentrated effort to bring in a lot more. I like Nicole Wallace. I'm a fan of hers. I was when she was on The View. I don't think she got the proper.
She was disrespected at The View. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I like the fact that they have expanded her time and as well as, of course, Joy. And like I said, Ari Melber's show last night, I don't think there was any other than Black folks on there. They were guesting, So
Yeah,
the numbers are showing that.
I agree, Sybil, and Nicole is doing so well. That's why they expanded her show to 2 hours, and moved Chuck Todd and Meet the Press Daily to a midday show.
Mm-hmm.
And Joy now at 7 p.m. kicking off their whole primetime hour, being the only Black woman in primetime cable news is a great thing. And even on the weekends, we've seen that they've expanded their live news coverage into the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour. And there's a guy, Joshua Johnson, who's really good.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, so they've got some really great people, some really smart contributors at that network, and that network really feels like multicultural America. NBC went through a lot. We know with the division, and at one point after Trump was elected, they were trying to stunt cast with a lot of conservatives. They brought over Greta Van Susteren. Yeah. They brought over that bigot Megyn Kelly, and so. But it was not a winning formula for them. And so when they got to doing what they're doing now and embracing diversity and really talking about issues outside of just Trump, it was a winning formula for them.
Yo, let me ask you something about the 11th hour. Now, I think this is the greatest. The 11th hour, Brian Williams has come back. He lost his job. He was fired. But I think you never know what's going to happen to you. Now he's better than ever, I think. And being on with Joy and Rachel. And I don't know where the hell Nicole Wallace, how she got so good. She is real. Oh, her name is Wallace. Damn. But John, do you understand what I'm saying? Nicole Wallace is so.
Oh no, I understand you're patting yourself on the back, George. That's what I understand.
That just hit me. I never thought of that before. But that's a good foursome, don't you think so? Everything is laid out so well. And I think when Joy talks and then Rachel speaks, I'm going like, there's nothing else for Nicole to say. And all of a sudden.
And she has it. Yeah.
And can I tell you, my mom is Rachel Maddow's biggest fan.
Mm-hmm.
For a while there, I thought she wanted to really marry Chris Matthews. She had a thing for Chris Matthews. I used to call him my stepdad. But she loves Rachel.
Your mom wants to marry everybody. Okay. She wants to marry me.
Well, pray for her, George. Matter of fact, George, I've seen your tax statement. You interested? Okay, never mind. So listen.
Hey, they're auditing me right now. I will not show my tax return. I'm being audited right now.
But my mom gets so excited every night at 9 o'clock. I mean, except for on Tuesdays because she watches the Have and the Have-Nots, but that's a whole other topic. But without the Tyler Perry shows being on, she's like, "Oh, I gotta go watch Rachel," because she does her imitation of Rachel. She says, "Oh, she gets so excited. She uses her hand gestures and she gets so explained." She loves the detail and the nuance of Rachel Maddow. She is probably one of the smartest people I've ever seen on television.
She really is.
She really is, and good for her. But the last 2 weeks where Brian Williams has come back on after the final speech, and as you said with Rachel and with Joy and with Nicole. I love that roundtable. I absolutely adore it. I think that
and he's got that old school news anchor wit with him, and they'll crack a joke, and I hear what you're saying.
It's actually really kind of endearing.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know that they will bring him back, John, as George has said. Now he's done his time on cable news, but because then what happens to Lester Holt?
Well, wait a second. Who knows Lester Holt now? Not many people. It's not like when he first started, but not many people mention Lester now. So Brian is really in the chair now. He's really.
Lester's doing good, George.
Yeah.
Oh, he's number one. I think he's number one.
Well, and then Brian is really winning in that 11th hour time slot. So there was talk about him early on when Chris Matthews said he was going to retire. Everyone thought that Brian Williams would get that slot. And he was like, no, I really like what I'm doing because he's beating everybody, even Fox News at 11 p.m. That show has become a juggernaut in cable news.
But he was always good. He just lied like I would lie. He was on the airplane. I would have lied. You got to lie to make these things. Yeah, I was on the airplane. The next plane out, I was on that plane. I was shot at. I would have said that. And people always lie a little bit. Didn't Hillary tell a lie like that? She was in some place at one time and she wasn't.
George, I just thought about it. You and Brian Williams got a lot of light because oftentimes you'll be like, yesterday I was at, and then yesterday I was at, And then you and Brian Williams might be the same person, George.
You know what? I just remembered my act.
Might be
I forgot my act. Oh, yeah, yesterday I was in Cleveland. I forgot. Thank you so much. Yes. So Brian Williams is doing I call it the foursome. They're so good at the 11th hour. And you have to watch it and be up on the news. It's such a great show. Program.
They're all very good. Yes. I enjoy them immensely. But the situation is going to be very interesting over these next 60 days, 67 days, and how things go along in the news as well as the reporting of it. It's going to be pretty tough.
October surprise.
The news.
So my question tonight, as we get ready for the Republican convention, they have taken a lot of pride in the fact that they do not always show Donald Trump live anymore, or when they do show him live, they will do cutaways and do some fact checking. Do you think they'll do that tonight in the address in which he accepts the nomination?
When he says hello, they're going to have to fact check that. Did he really mean hello to the American people? Listen to me. Like I've told you people thousands of times, I'm trying to be the greatest bullshit in the world, but Trump is kicking my ass. And it's just amazing. And when he comes on tonight, it's going to be a lot of fact checking. Every night has been a lot of fact checking over there.
Yeah.
And this is what the fact checkers look like, Sybil. They're like this. What is hello in Russian? What is hello in Russian? What is goodbye in Russian? What is MAGA in Russian? That's what the fact checkers will be doing tonight. Nobody is talking about when Melania did her speech the other night. Right. He was dozing off. It was like hanging out with George Wallace.
That was me, John. I thought that was me that was noticing that.
He's not used to being up at past 10 o'clock. After eating all that McDonald's, that stuff will make you sleepy.
And then he's up at 3 o'clock texting and tweeting and carrying on. Yeah.
But he's got to talk to Sean Hannity at some time, Sybil.
So tonight he's once again they're going to mix public property with politics, and he will present his keynote address to the nation, accepting the nomination from the South Lawn of the White House, and another opportunity for people to make note of the fact that they are this marriage, this mixture, this melding of public and private events are coming together. The First Lady did it with her speech.
Right.
The Secretary of State gave his speech from Jerusalem. Last night, which I thought was really interesting, was the address from Mike Pence at the Fort McHenry, which was an inspiration for Francis Scott Key to write the national anthem, which is, always being talked about as one of the most racist and sexist songs ever. And so no telling what will happen tonight. And then after that, there will be fireworks. Like borrowing from the Democrats last week, of course, and what they did. But it's and the money is on how long is he going to take? How long will the speech be? And will he go off script?
I hope he does go off script. That'll be very good, because he was talking about Biden was reading. Well, at least he can read.
How about that?
At least he can read. Tonight it's going to be talking. We're going to hear about law and order, first of all, okay?
Oh, yeah.
This is your administration right now. Why don't we have it right now?
Right.
This is on your clock right now. So he's going to talk about law and order. He's going to talk about the order that all of those people who broke the law going to jail, going in and out of that revolving door. He's not going to talk about that. But as far as law and order, they've broken the law more than anybody. They're breaking the law right now as we speak.
Probably.
Yeah.
George, one of the parts of his that he's proudest of, one of the pillars of his administration is their fight in criminal justice. And so you guys, Anne Marie Johnson, is that her name, Anne Marie Johnson?
Oh yeah, the one that Kim Kardashian freed.
Yes. Yeah. She's
speaking tonight.
She's speaking tonight. She's going.
Well, let me tell you something. If somebody let me out of jail, I just might have to say a little thing. You let me out of jail, and I'm going to vote for you. But to all of you black people, don't vote for him. Don't vote for him.
And the other night he gave a full pardon to a black man who he had become friends with. He gave him the pardon in the middle of the videotape piece. They had just it's been really interesting.
It's a circus. It's a circus. That's all it is. It's a circus.
It is a circus.
We're not going to fall for this. We're not going to fall for this. He can bring on anybody. And guess who else is going to be on tonight?
Who else, George?
Ben Carson. John, anybody?
The mentally ill narcoleptic brain surgeon.
There's no way in hell I let him operate on me. Are you kidding? But
can you believe he used to work on these brains?
This guy is so stupid. He said Obamacare was the worst thing that happened to America since slavery. This guy is losing it. And you never hear from him. Whatever he says tonight is not going to be interesting. So we can go get our sandwich. We can take a nap. We can take a whatever. I want to hear what he has to say. They never let him talk. He's in the back room.
He's like that uncle in some people's homes, that's in the back room. You just kind of knock on the door and slide the food in. That's one of those guys.
Don't get into that. I'm that uncle.
The only Carson I want to hear tonight is his wife, Candy Carson. She's the more entertaining of the bunch. Let her come out there and belt one of those Negro spirituals.
Things, right? She's the one with she wears Sybil, doesn't she's the one with the Lane Bryant dresses, and she wanted to.
George, you are so silly.
John, and she wanted the Lane Bryant dress. She wore one of those old Barbara Bush dresses.
You missed the Barbara Bush era, don't you?
I'm sorry.
Maybe
so
Candy Carter and Mother Pence look like they would be friends.
Oh my God. Oh,
Detroit is not proud of Ben Carson. Detroit is not proud of him. And,
nobody's proud of Ben Carson.
And I don't know. Let's just say, who else is speaking tonight? Puppa's going to speak for an hour, I think.
Rudy Giuliani is going to.
No way.
Rudy Giuliani, because he lies.
What happened to him? I thought he was dead. I thought he was gone.
Oh no!
God! I'm going to start cussing again. Now
he's been going to daily prayer meetings because he knows if Trump does not get reelected in November, the New York Southern District is going to be paying a visit to his house. There will be handcuffs and there's an indictment waiting on him.
Wait a second. What is all of a sudden with the religion with this thing? What's with the religion? The loophole.
You know what, John, you can speak to this better than I can, and that's something I did want to talk to you about.
Is this a Jerry Falwell Jr. conversation?
Don't go there.
Are we talking about white evangelical entanglement?
Are we talking about pool boys? And they don't even have a pool.
If I would have known that I could have went to Liberty University by banging his wife and getting a menage scholarship, I would have went and got me a PhD. He could have watched me with his wife.
John, how crazy has this thing been? And he walks away with $10.5 million.
Let's lift the veil on this, though.
We all know that $10 million for walking away.
Hang on one second, George.
We all know that Christians are the most horniest people you can meet. Let's just start there.
Wait a second. Could you do me a favor and say that one more time?
Christians are the horniest people that you can meet.
When you go to church, how many little fatherless kids you see running around the church? But look, Greenlee. Come on.
Real stat here. Before pandemic, when conventions would come to town, it is known in the hospitality industry that when Christian conferences come to town, the pornography and alcohol premiums go to an all-time high. Yeah. Hotels love a Christian conference because
Las Vegas loves it. Las Vegas loves when the Christian conference comes.
Oh yeah, so much porn and booze, and so these Falwells, apparently Michael Cohen tried to warn us last year, and he told us he had pictures on Jerry Falwell Jr.
Right.
And he said that's how they got the endorsement of Jerry Falwell Jr. back in 2016. He was supposed to endorse Ted Cruz, who's supposed to be the religious right. And then all of a sudden, they made a deal with the devil and they endorsed Donald Trump because they made these photos go away. This is the type of freaky stuff that is going on in these false evangelical platforms. And listen, if I was Paula White, because I know a little bit of her testimony, she should be really nervous with the way they're exposing evangelicals in this season.
You used to go to her church, didn't you, John?
Hell no. I'm trying to get to heaven. I wasn't doing that Ponzi scheme.
It was a love offering, John.
Love offering?
Love
No,
offering.
it was pay for her Louboutin offering.
Did I turn a little blue? Did my screen go blue? Did somebody?
No, I think it's your eyes, George.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Sybil, did you guys see the tweet about they all knew? Did you guys ever see that tweet about all of the Republicans? They all knew back then when they ran against.
They all knew. Yes.
I wish you could bring that up. That is such a great. I wish they could play that commercial forever. They all knew. If you could find that, Yogi, I'm going to send it to you, Yogi. If you could play that, it'd be so nice. It's the greatest. It's the greatest.
And it's true. It's true. While we have a second, though, and John, I want to talk a little bit more about that Falwell Jr. guy and how he walks away with his pants unzipped and $10.5 million. To get back to the election, Michelle Richards is on Facebook and encouraging folks to please help at the polls on November 3rd. Please.
Yeah,
and as Stephen Hill told us yesterday, don't forget, Democrats, we vote on November 3rd, and Republicans, you vote on November
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Or 5.
Or 5.
5 is good. Yeah. So we will vote.
Do you remember back in the day when people would call the Joyner Show and they would tell us that they had flyers on their cars, and the flyers in Black neighborhoods were telling people to vote on the day after the election?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
They paid me to do that. I did. I said, I do something strange for a little piece of change.
Is it the same thing Tavis Smiley was doing during the primaries when he was trying to get Hillary elected over Obama? I'm not supposed to talk about that?
Okay. No, you're not supposed to bring up Tavis.
John,
unless you got $2.5 million.
The man is already down.
I'm sorry, Tavis.
And you know what?
PBS, Tavis. PBS. Sorry, Tavis. Sorry.
We shouldn't go in that direction, but I hope he has the money to pay those people back, Sybil. That's a lot of money you have to pay. Don't you think
George,
so?
That's a lot of money, and especially when you spend a lot of money on legal fees.
Yes, legal
a lot of money on those dates with those women that worked on his staff.
Yeah.
That's some expensive hoo-ha right there.
Goes around, comes around, right? Ooh. Wow. That's so terrible. I feel so sorry for him because
but maybe he'll get a pardon tonight. Everybody else is getting
a pardon. You get a pardon, and you get a pardon.
Hey, listen. So I hope they don't go to court. Can Bannon be pardoned before Trump is out?
If they come up with a charge against him and go to court, yeah.
Can we wait until trial? Can we wait until after the trial? Can we wait until after the January 21 before we have the trial on Bannon?
I really think that is gonna. I think just with the slow pace of justice.
But Sybil, I heard one of the prosecutors on TV that actually said legally, Trump could pardon him before he even goes to trial. Excuse me.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
That the law, and I wanted to check.
Yeah, the law works in Trump's favor. But the one thing that they said is that Trump and Bannon have fallen out of grace with each other, right. And that there was a Bannon surrogate that recently went to the White House to meet with Trump, and Trump dogged Bannon out really, really bad.
He better not. Bannon might talk.
So the only reason he would maybe even consider pardoning him is so that he would not talk, because Bannon knows about it.
Yeah.
But the real dangerous person in the White House is President Kushner. Let me tell you, I have it on good authority that President Kushner is the one that's really calling a lot of the shots there. Yeah. He's the one that's really in control. Listen, Donald's eating McDonald's and watching Fox News. They just kind of roll him out there and say, do this, do that, and he goes with the flow. But President Kushner is the one that really could pick up that red phone and get some things going on in the world.
Well, he didn't. One thing Kushner got wrong.
He said he was going to reach out to LeBron James and talk about this whole postponing of the basketball games, and he went off on the fact that it's really good that these guys in the NBA have the money. Yeah, in order to not go to work, but they're not being realistic with what's going on in our country. And it's
But
like,
it didn't
shoot,
answer the
if there's
question.
anybody who's not being realistic,
It's exactly.
it's
you.
all the folks in your house.
And they never mention what's going on, do they? Right now, they mentioned the Milwaukee, the Wisconsin situation?
Pence mentioned Kenosha as one of the streets where the violence is going on in his speech last night. But in terms of the real situation and what has happened, and a 17-year-old boy who has pledged allegiance to Donald Trump and to the police and all of that, who has now been charged with homicide in the murder of 2 people in the Black Lives Matter movement.
And you guys last night was going, well, where did he get the gun? Where did he get the gun? These little young white kids he ordered online. Maybe he made the damn gun.
Somebody, as we were talking last night, he probably just picked it up from the kitchen table.
How about that? Or rolled up in Walmart.
Yeah.
You know.
They know where to get them. They're online. That's what I'm saying. The young kids today online, learning how to make a bomb, let alone get a gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But instead of focusing on the one who shot 2 protesters, people like Santa Claus Karen, aka Megyn Kelly, was online talking about how Jacob Blake had a gun in the car, and so because that's what they're alleging. At the end of the day, there was no reason for that man to be shot. And all of us keep almost saying shot and killed because that's typically what happened.
It really is, yeah, John.
Yeah, but there was no reason for that to happen that way. But instead of her focusing on the murderer, who Tucker Carlson was saying he did what the local authorities couldn't do, and the fact that he is allowed to sit on a TV station that's called a news network that's using this type of violence against people practicing their First Amendment, like, it's reprehensible. And it's little things like that we hope that once we get these people out of office, that there can be legislature and things put in place, that these people have to be held accountable for this hate speech on national airwaves. It's really reprehensible.
Yeah, he's a mother tucker.
A Mickey Flicky.
He's a waka flucker. That's what he is. He's a waka flucker.
John, were you anywhere near the group of white Black Lives Matter supporters that were in that restaurant in D.C. and forcing people to raise their fist and pledge allegiance to Black Lives Matter?
No, John kept his punk ass at home. John talks a lot, but you don't see his ass out on the street, do you? He won't. John, you going to go out on the 28th? Are you going to go out on the 28th of March?
Tomorrow.
No, I'm still on phase 1. I know that the rest of the world is moving on, like the pandemic is progressing, and shout out to my good homie Kenny Hilliard, because I just had to have a conversation with my homeboy today about how I can't be a groomsman in his socially distant wedding because I just don't know everybody who's going to be there, and I'm not comfortable being around strangers in this season. Right. I'm on phase 1. So I respect everybody who's marching. I respect everybody who's finding creative ways to gather. For me, it's just safer to sit my yellow tail in the house, in the crib. I go to the grocery store. I go to the post office. I may go to the bank if somebody blesses me. And when I'm feeling ambitious, I go to Target. That has been the extent of my life since March the 19th. And I'm going to probably be in this position until well after Easter 2021.
I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going to the grocery store. They got a thing called Instacart. They can drop that shit off at my door. I ain't going nowhere. You understand? I ain't going to the dry cleaners. I'd rather wear the same pair of drawers 3 days in a row. I ain't going to the washer. I ain't going nowhere.
You're not going to the washer house?
Well, now that was really country right there. Washer house.
The washer house. And I'm ordering my food from the market from Instacart.
And I order all of my food from a restaurant. Yeah, and I'm not going anywhere.
We're gonna make groceries.
Right.
Ain't that another Southern saying?
That's a New Orleans saying. We're gonna make groceries.
That's right. We're gonna make groceries. George, we have the video that you were referencing. They all knew. So
can we watch that? This is
okay.
John. Watch this. This is so true.
It's 90 seconds. So let's see.
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy.
Whatever he does, he accuses everyone else of doing. The man cannot tell the truth, but he combines it with being a narcissist. A narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
And my concern is that he would grab up that power and really treat the country as sort of his little bully fiefdom.
Donald Trump is everything I taught my children not to do in kindergarten.
He's been exploiting working Americans for 40 years.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
He says he's for the little guy, but he's actually built a lot of his businesses on the backs of the little guy.
You know, Donald Trump the other day said that, quote, if he tells a soldier to commit a war crime, the soldier will just go do it.
And I don't think Donald Trump has even read the Constitution, knows what's in the Constitution.
A toxic mix of demagoguery and mean-spiritedness and nonsense.
I just cannot support Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is a delusional narcissist and an orange-faced windbag.
Donald Trump is a con artist.
He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies practically every word that comes out of his mouth.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office.
No.
That's what does it for me. They all knew then, they all know now.
Dr. Mike, they should play that every day. Let the Republicans speak for him.
Yeah.
We should also mention that there has been a Republican counter convention going on this week with so many great people. Actually, they have their last night tonight as well, and their keynote speaker tonight is Michael Steele.
Yeah.
And so Shermichael Singleton and Tara Setmeyer and Amanda Carpenter and so many real conservatives who also are decent human beings and real Americans have been participating in this conference, because true Republicans, true conservatives have never identified or accepted Donald Trump, and these people want their party back.
Yeah.
Listen to me, Sybil, can we talk about Mr. Steele for a second?
Sure. Michael Steele, former head of the Republican National Committee, as a matter of fact.
Michael Steele, well-dressed Michael Steele, come on over. Come on over. You know you don't belong over there. Come on home, man. Stop the bullshit. Come on. Come on. You hear him every night. He's as democratic as I am. He wants his party back. That party is not good to be in. You shouldn't hang around that. If you hang around, you become a part of that environment. Just get out. You don't agree with anything they say. You just get out.
So, George, are you willing to trade places between Michael Steele and Vernon Jones?
I need a new pair of depends.
You know, so I think Michael Steele has bigger ambitions.
You don't understand what she's saying. You don't understand what she's saying, John. That used to be one of my best friends, Vernon Jones, and
Georgia Democrats.
The Georgia sellout. But
you know, he's supposed to be a Democrat. Oh, let's go to another subject.
George, no, let's be fair, because he's one of those black men that was featured in the Republican convention this week. We talked about Herschel Walker. We talked about, you name them, those that were there. And Vernon Jones, along with the Attorney General of Kentucky.
Yes.
Vernon Jones was there, and months ago he stood before everybody, God and everybody, and said that he was endorsed. He is a state representative for the state
Democratic.
of Georgia.
Yeah, Democratic.
The Democratic Party, and he said that he endorsed Donald Trump. And George, you have history with that. So what do you say?
That, you know what? It's so bad. We don't talk politics. This was a good friend of mine from many.
Still talk.
And he still. I'm such a good friend that I still have to say hello to him. I don't talk politics. Please don't do that, because I'll go off the handle. Please don't do that. With him, because you can't tell me anything about. There's nothing good about Trump. I don't care what the black people say. You can't tell me the economy is good. The stock market is up. Black people ain't up in that stock market, and the broke white people ain't up either in the stock market. Unemployment, we added 9 million jobs, but there's still 11 million still not working. You get everything they say. You can't tell me. I'm from New York. I've been knowing Donald Trump from day one. He's never been a good person. Look at his history. You know, bringing all those black people in, didn't even want them in their apartments. This is phony bullshit. I can't stand last night.
George, that can't be easy for you. I'm sorry but you are such a good person that you do speak to him. I
still have to say hello to him. And I introduced you guys to him back in 1966. We all hung out at the Olympics together, and he was rolling with us for a while.
Yeah, until he told one of us to shh, not so loud.
Oh, Sybil, you knew then, didn't you?
Right?
Sybil knew then. He's not going to last with us long. He's amongst us, but he's not really with us.
He's not with us.
Yeah,
well, it's a new day, and so much is going on, so much is happening, and we all have changed. We've changed, and about with the virus going around, and with the Black Lives Matter. It's such a new day, and I don't know when it's gonna. Well, November 3rd should be good. We should be happy.
Well, let us hope. But if it does not improve, the candidate for the Democrat says he is going to shut the country down and get it right. And
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. That's what I'm just saying.
Guess what? My largest tweet ever was done yesterday. My largest tweet.
Oh, tweet.
My largest tweet was yesterday. There are, in China, 400, almost 5,000 deaths in China where the virus started, okay? We're approaching 180,000 here in America.
Right.
So let's stop calling that the China virus and let's call it the Trump mumps. I got over 5 million hits on that today, on the Trump mumps, because it's the leadership, as you were saying, Sybil. We could have shut the country down, and that's what Biden wants to do. Let's get it right. If we have to shut the country down, everybody has to wear a mask. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We got to see in this moment of the pandemic what white privilege really is, because the Vanity Fair article came out that said the reason why they got so lax with treating the virus was because initially it was impacting blue states, which are the more urban populated states. And they were like, oh, those aren't our people. We don't care. And then there other people in other states like Michigan and stuff, once they started hearing the reports that people of color were being impacted in greater numbers by coronavirus than white people, what do you mean I have to put my mask on to keep those Negroes and the Hispanics safe? And so that whole thing was the epitome of white privilege. I'm not staying in my house and putting on a mask and being forced to have to go through some discomfort to keep other people alive. And so it's that type of nature why we're having the civil and the social unrest in this country. And it's the reason why we are the laughing stock of the world. Wow. Like Trump wanted to build a wall. They've shut their doors to us almost every other place across the country because we can't get this virus contained.
Exactly.
Well, he's such a liar. He shut it down.
Of Vanity Fair, I want everybody to check out that incredible issue. Vanity Fair, edited by Ta-Nehisi Coates. And it features the son of one of our own, Damon Williams' son. Damon is featured there as an activist.
That kid was so cool when he was on your show. He was so cool on your show. That was really nice.
This is the cover with Breonna Taylor, the painting of Breonna Taylor that was done by the same woman that did Michelle Obama's official portrait. Amy Sherrill. So please check that out. And
now you're talking about portrait, and now you're getting into art a little bit too. There was something we forgot to talk about: making money, investing in art.
Yeah, that was in the What You Need to Know newsletter by our millennial money person, and she was talking about the investing in our Black art. And George, how about it for you?
I have some Black art, but I really need to get into some more after reading today. And I think it's a great investment. We don't know anybody that lost money on it. Like there was a painting, Mr. Jean Michel
Basquiat and
Basquiat. He had a painting that was worth $10,000 less than 30 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And now it's worth over $100 million.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And as you know, on the Tom Joyner cruise, that is a big part of it, is bringing on Black artists. Thank you. And also the folks that come to the auctions that we have. And so it's really, I couldn't afford to buy a lot of that stuff, but a lot of our folks did. So I appreciate that. And hopefully.
Hey, Sybil, before we sign off too, I was thinking about the video that George got us to watch. It was really good. About everybody knew, all the Republicans knew who Donald Trump was. And it's so, two of the people featured in there they've been pretending most of their life. Like Ted Cruz, his real name is Rafael Cruz. He's a Spanish guy. He's just been passing for white.
Is that right?
Nikki Haley, her real name is Namarada Randahawa.
Okay.
Her married name, that Southern drawl is not real. Both of her parents are Indian. She's an Indian woman who's been passing for white. The people from South Carolina did not know she was an Indian woman when they elected her.
Now she wants to be black. Yeah, now she wants to be a person of color.
Oh, yeah, because she was never a person of color until all of a sudden Kamala Harris started getting recognition for being biracial. And so, you know, and then she said that racism in America isn't real, then went on to talk about how both of her parents were discriminated against. So which is it? Were your Indian parents discriminated against, or is racism not real? The Indian Namarada? Tell me what the truth is. So Namarada Haley, who goes by Nikki because that's more palatable to the base that all of these people have been pretending.
That's more white bread than anything else.
Of course, they're passing.
Yeah.
All of the black people, all of the black people
on there that are passing for other things, John.
Yeah. All of the people that are hating on Kamala Harris too about she locked up so many black people. If you don't break the law, you don't see Kamala. Don't break the law.
Well, a lot of people had not broken the law, George, but they still find themselves before a judge. Let us remember that.
Well, this is true too, but that's her job as a prosecutor, was to put people in jail.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Her job was to win.
I want to thank you so much. I'm going to go off and watch the last night of this convention.
Hate night number 4.
John, you got to come back and visit us again, okay? Because it's so much fun being with you. And what does your shirt say, John?
It says Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black.
I went to night school. I was going, Black lives where? Black lives. It's not that, let me throw in one of my old jokes. It's not that I had to go to night school. It's just that we live so far away that by the time I got there, it was dark.
Well, you did better reading my shirt than Donald Trump would have, George.
Hello.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes. So let's see him screw up tonight, and let's see him turn orange, even more orange.
One more thing I want to promote, George, is our friend J. Anthony Brown's show premieres Tuesday, September 2nd on BET.
Sybil, I forgot. I'm going to get in trouble. Mofo nuts. Eat his. John, have you ever had Jay's nuts?
Oh, God. Okay, we got to go.
I want no parts of Jay's nuts.
You're hot. Get them at the peanut stand. Nuts. Jay, I tell you what.
Old nuts. Okay. All right. You guys, I love you. I can't thank you. John, please come back again.
Anytime you
need. I enjoyed it.
I'm here for you.
I love it. I absolutely adore you. And George Wallace, you are, as always, just the best.
I love you, and there's absolutely shit these nuts hot.
Bye, you guys. Have a great weekend. And don't forget, check out your registration to vote. We're going to get out there and vote like our lives depend on it. See ya.